Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new, we'll be basically reacting to classic songs and giving you interesting facts along the way. So today we'll be doing Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles. Just a pre-warning, this version I'm about to play is a slowed and reverbed version just because I won't be allowed to play the actual copyright song. So before I get into it, some of the basic facts about the song. So it was released in 1966, included on the Revolver album. It actually won the Grammy in that year for the best vocal performance, and when you hear it you can see why. There's two main characters in that song. There's Eleanor Rigby, obviously, and then there's Father Mackenzie. So we'll start off with Eleanor Rigby. There's a bit of uncertainty about surrounding Eleanor Rigby and the real person. So Paul McCartney says that Eleanor Rigby came from Eleanor for Eleanor Bron, who was in the Help film 1965, and Rigby, which was from Rigby and Evans, which was a store in Liverpool, wine and shipping merchant. Yeah, so it was found later there was a suburb of Liverpool called Woolton, and there's a grave, Eleanor Rigby. So this is near where Paul McCartney grew up, and he said that it might have slipped into his subconscious, but the real name came from them too. But this Eleanor Rigby wasn't lonely because she was married, so it wasn't based on a real person. So Paul said he grew up in a council estate or housing project if you're American, and was friends with older people, or he was around a lot of older people who would talk about the Second World War. One woman in particular, he would do her shopping. She didn't get out much, and he kind of put two and two together about the loneliness of the older people, and kind of got this story. So picking up rice from a church and so on. The major theme is loneliness. So actually, even though Eleanor Rigby might not have been the real person that McCartney based the story on, she was a real person. And I think it was the Daily Mirror, they tracked down her last living relative, Thomas E. Rigby, and he said in an interview, "The Beatles were never my type. I didn't like them. Proper ballroom music was what I liked, not these pop bands." So the original name of the song was Miss Daisy Hawkins, but I think the sound of Eleanor Rigby, Paul said it rhymed and sounded better. Bit of an extra fact on this. The Beatles didn't actually play any of the instruments on this song. So it was an orchestra, quite a rare, because even in other songs like A Day in the Life where they had the orchestra in the background, George Harrison played the maracas and Ringo Starr played the congas, the little drums. So it's quite a rare. So for the second character, Father Mackenzie, who's wiping his hands at the grave. Originally it was supposed to be Father McCartney, but Paul didn't want to worry his dad or create a wrong impression, so he looked through the phone book and to the closest name, and Mackenzie was the one that suited. The original lyrics were supposed to be Olena Tungi blowing his mind in the dark with a pipe full of clay. So yeah, it doesn't really go as well. So some people think that the priest Father Mackenzie was Father Tommy Mackenzie, who was a local vicar, but again, it's just Beatles myth. I don't know how true that is. So even though Paul McCartney came up with the idea of the song, the name Eleanor Rigby, and it was about people who he knew in his childhood, he didn't contribute to all the lyrics. So Ringo Starr contributed to writing the words of the sermon No One Will Hear and the Dan in the Socks, and George Harrison came up with the famous hook, I look at all the lonely people. So Pete Shotton, who was a member of the Quarrymen, which was John Lennon's childhood band at school, he came up with the idea that the two people in the story would meet. So Father Mackenzie and Eleanor Rigby at Eleanor Rigby's funeral. It said that John Lennon didn't like the idea. Paul McCartney didn't say anything. He just wrote it down and then finished the song. And then later he credited Pete for his work. I really like this song, especially with how influential it was for later pop and rock. So I mean, if you look at the Baroque style of pop, it was really influential with the Beach Boys. They only just beat the Beach Boys to the post. I think Brian Wilson would have been doing something it said that he had a nervous breakdown when he heard, it was either Revolver or the previous Beatles album, I can't really remember, it was one of them, and he's like, they beat me to it, and yeah. So that's the fact I've got for the song. It's only a 2-minute song, 2.5 minutes, but with all the Beatles songs, there's so much history, so much to talk about. I could talk for ages, but keep the video short and concise. So if you've enjoyed the video, could you please like, subscribe and comment? And if you've got any recommendations for other songs, I'll be happy to do them. So thanks for watching my video. And again, if you've got any recommendations for songs you'd like me to do, first time hearings, or if you just want to know interesting facts about the songs, more than happy to do any of that. So thank you for watching my channel. I hope you've really enjoyed it. This is AJD React. Goodbye.